What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Always on the move, as you can see. So, in case you guys don't know by now, Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev fight has been canceled due to an injury that Beterbiev has sustained in training. Now, that was the fight that I was looking forward to the most on that whole card. Nonetheless, the fight is not being replaced as of now. They're not trying to find two more guys to replace that as a main event or to become the next co-main event, where as if, just say for example, if there were 8 fights and just say that they're now 7, then it's just going to carry on with 7. Only now Wilder and Zhang will become the main event because they were the co-main event. So that being said, for Zhang and for Wilder, you think, for them to go in there, just okay, cool, we're the main event, Well, that means all the attention is on them. Now, Zhang is always more relaxed, just laid back, like, hey, let's do it and see what happens. When Wilder was fighting Parker and Wallin was fighting AJ, Wilder said that he felt like him and Parker should be the main event. And we saw how AJ performed, and we also saw how Wilder performed. And it was underwhelming what he went in there and did against Parker. So, not only that, going into this fight, but with that, and him having the pressure of this is redemption for him. And if you win this, we want you and Jared Anderson. You understand what I mean? So, that being said, for a man that said he lost his passion, his love, and his desire for the sport, that could also, which is, it can play a part where it's up to him to have the focus that he needs to have. But it could play a part in on him mentally, with him feeling like, damn, I'm thinking after I get this fight with Zhang, if I win this, it's me and AJ. I want that $50 million. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want Jared Anderson. But once again, once you put yourself, in a position that, hey man, listen, I want to fight 3-4 times a year, and pretty much you claim you want that fight with AJ. Well, there's hurdles, bro. There's obstacles, and that's just the way it goes, man. This is life, man. Nobody's giving you anything. You have to earn your money. So it could play a psychological thing on him where, it could take a toll. But it's up to him to focus. Like I said, grown-ass men, grown people do grown-up things. The focus has to be there. And, nobody is just walking into something in a sense where, okay, I've been doing this in the past. Why is it different now? Yeah. The expectations are different. This is quality, high quality boxing that they want. They don't want someone that just want a paycheck. No, you got to show us something, man. We don't, we understand what you did in the past. You held the title, but we also understand the caliber of opponents that you fought. Now, here's a reality check, right? If you look at Deontay Wilder's whole resume, tell me when I'm fucking lying. If the Saudis was to pick anyone, if they was to pick any, not just any Deontay Wilder opponents to be on a Saudi card, other than Tyson Fury, depending on who the guy was fighting at one point, they might have gotten Luis Ortiz on the card. There's nobody else on his entire resume that they would have picked for a Saudi card. That's on his resume. And I say maybe Luis Ortiz. Only because Luis Ortiz was undefeated up until the point that he fought Wilder. And Luis Ortiz was never talked about. He was never a big name. He hadn't done anything. Okay, but neither has Jarrell Miller. And that's why I say maybe that might have been the only one other than Fury. So my point is, if you look at the resume, right, that shows you what I'm saying about the level of the caliber of fighters that he's fought. They wouldn't want those other guys. Nobody. Not no fucking Bermain Stavern. Okay, not Chris Arreola, because Chris Arreola, you got to understand, Chris Arreola, this dude's been around for a minute. He fought Klitschko. You understand what I mean? He had chances. He fought Bermain Stavern for the title. They fought twice. You understand what I mean? And that's who Bermain Stavern got it from. And basically, he lost it on his very first title defense against Wilder. So, you understand what I mean? Looking at his resume, man, come on. They wouldn't want this. They wouldn't want none of those guys on there. You understand what I'm saying? But you look at AJ's resume. There's several guys. Parker is one of them. You know, Dillian White would be another guy. You understand what I'm saying? Carlos Takam in his prime. You know, he's a guy they would have put on there. You know, Vladimir Klitschko would have definitely been on there. You understand what I'm saying to you? Alexander Usyk. This is exactly what I'm saying. Wilder doesn't have, he can't go that far. You know, Povetkin. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. These are guys that when you talk about high quality boxing, man, this is what all platforms should want. Not just some guys to put on and fill up a card. So we can have one or two, possibly one or two decent fights. Otherwise, man, you get a trash card. And then what if the main event and the co-main events don't live up to the hype, right? So there could be some pressure there, mostly on Wilder, more so than Zhang. Because Zhang, basically, I feel like with Zhang, it's like, okay, if he would have beat Parker, I don't know who they'd have put in there with him. And also the thing about Zhang is, after his fight with Filip Urkovich, and we saw like Zhang doesn't have a good gas tank, he got attention, but he didn't really get a buzz of people looking at him like he's that next guy. In fact, if you remember when he was going into the fight with Joe Joyce, pretty much the best compliment he got was they think he's going to put up a good fight for a little bit, but they think eventually the juggernaut's just going to walk through him and get him out of there. And after he upset Joe Joyce, okay, he beat Joe Joyce, what ends up happening was people were saying they think it was a fluke victory. Joyce just had a bad night. You know, those things happen. He just didn't look the same in the fight. Then the rematch, he beat him even worse. He stopped him completely. He beat the shit out of him, right? So that being said, now it's like, well, damn. It took 2 fights to turn heads. You know, people look at him and say, nah, this guy's for real. So for him, you know, his notoriety came late. And then he went there against Parker, and, you know, he was looking good, like I said, until he got tired, and he lost the fight. So now, the fact of the matter is, for him, it's like, there's no huge anticipation. It was after he beat Joe Joyce those 2 times. But after losing to Parker, it's more like, okay. So we see he has a gas tank issue. Well, even though he's a lot bigger than, you know, physically than Usyk, can you honestly say he'll go in there and beat Usyk because Usyk is going to move, make him work? You know, now it's possible he can hurt Usyk, catch him and hurt him. Yeah, that's very possible. He's a big, strong dude. But it's also possible that he'll go in there and can't get to the target the way he needs to and ends up in a situation where Usyk takes him into deep waters. Now, we hear Wilder saying that he's going to take him into deep waters, but with what type of game plan? You understand what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, now all the attention is on Wilder and Zhang. Now, that's the good part for them, is that they became the main event. Now, the question will be answered come fight night. Will the fight live up to main event status? And we will see. You know, but, you know, for Wilder and Zhang, best thing for them to do is go in there with the clear head of fight-by-fight basis. And that's what I'm seeing with Zhang. Is more like, okay, now since he lost to Parker, because think about it, he's going in there against a guy with another loss, right? Which makes, like, you don't reward. Here's my thing. It was a competitive fight. So if he would have ended up with a different opponent, but someone that's coming off of a win, it's not like it's such a bad thing, because, you know, he lost the fight, but it was competitive. Wilder's fight wasn't competitive. So the way I see it, though, they both have something to prove, and they both lost to the same guy. So this is really the perfect fight for each guy. You know what I'm saying? So they're not talking about what's next for Zhang ahead of time. They didn't say the winner of this fight, they won against Jared Anderson. They said Deontay Wilder. But you see, this is the thing. For Wilder to get his so-called hunger back, his love, his desire, his passion, his killer instinct, well, this is the way you do it. This is what's going to make or break you. Anything that you do, anybody who grew up playing sports in school, you know that if you don't have the best, let's say you played basketball, and then all of a sudden, like my son, same thing. When basketball season is over, he does track. Okay, my son has advanced. Everybody else that failed this, you know, so him and the other students that's advanced, now they're playing for medals and stuff, right? Well, this is what the same thing I told him, and he's like, Pop, yeah, my coach said the same thing. Yeah, it's what I'm saying. If you go and say, for example, you're playing basketball, and they had a great season, okay? I think they only lost 3-4 games the whole season. But bottom line is, like I told him, you're going to have days where the team is not going to play the way they're supposed to. And one of the things I see about your team is they turn on each other. When things don't go right, they argue, and that's not how you win games. You go there as a team, you come off the court as a team. That back and forth bickering is nothing. My son isn't one of those type of people. He's more laid back, and he just focused on the game. But what I'm explaining to him is, you have to play cohesively. The last game you lost, don't go into the next game with that hanging over your head. Forget that. Focus on the next game. You know, and you have to clear your head. Otherwise, you put unnecessary pressure on yourself, and the whole thing is you go in there with the wrong attitude. He gets that. When the team gets it, or when they all get it, that's when it meshes together better. So now going into playing another sport, doing track and field, you have people that think, like, for example, people that play track and field. It's like this, right? Let's say on my son's team, there's people that score more points than he do, right? Let's just say there's people that, like, he's not seen as the main guy on the team. Let's say it like that. And he's a starter now, okay? But he can go on there and outplay them. But what I tell him is, see, your teammates, instead of trying to win the game and shut down the other team, they're trying to outplay each other. That's one of the biggest reasons that the games that they lost, every game that they lost, and there was only like 3 or 4, they lost it the same way. They was blowing the other team out, and then everybody went into, well, I'm Steph Curry, well, you're LeBron, you know, I'm MJ, you're Kobe, or what. Like, you understand? Everybody's competing with everybody, and it's like they blew the game. Ego type of stuff. Once again, my son is the laid back guy. But going into track and field, the people that played basketball that went into track and field, he's the only one from his team. You understand what I'm saying? That's left. The other ones got eliminated. So you, in basketball, y'all might be a toss-up. You understand what I'm saying? Track and field, it's different. He smoked all of them. Because now they're in a sport where they're actually competing against each other. You understand what I'm saying? On a basketball court, you shouldn't be. You're competing against the other team. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you travel and you go play, and y'all go against other schools, then that's different. But when it gets to the point where it's a process of elimination with your own team, your focus has to be there. And it's the same type of thing. It's like, even though it's still boxing, the point is you're going from one test to another. So this is why, even like when Wilder fans are saying things like, that's not fair to Wilder. How does he get a chance to prepare for a guy like Anderson who has a completely different style from Zhang in just 2 months? Well, guess what? You don't even know who else on that card may be back on the same card for August 3rd. You understand what I mean? But this is what make you or break you. So you're either up to the challenge or you're not. You come into, one fight worrying about what happened last time, or let's say, even for example, let's just say, and I don't know that this was happening, was being said, but let's just say, for example, he might have felt like him and Zhang should have been the main event anyway, because they heavyweights, and he's involved. You understand? Well, no, you both coming off of losses. And there's far more people that's more interested in Bivol versus Beterbiev than they are with you versus Zhang. Let's just say it like it is. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter is, like, the pressure that will come on a fighter, it can be different things. But for Wilder, I feel like if anybody would have pressure, it would be Wilder. Zhang, not so much. Really, look at the position he's in. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no, Zhang, you win this fight, you get a rematch with Parker. Or, we're going to give you, the one of Dubois, Urkovich, or whatever. Just saying, like, you know what I mean? Wilder already, and it's not the pressure, Wilder. It's not to throw him off his square like his foolish fanboys are saying. No. Look, we want you on this card. Did you not hear Turki Al-Sheikh say, we want Wilder back? No, we want to motivate this guy. Give him an incentive to fight harder. You understand what I'm saying? What you have to lose. Now, at the same time, Jared Anderson is in the position. You beat Wilder, instant star power. Look at the man's resume. Okay? He's lacking quality opponents. Lacking. Now you beat Wilder. Guess what? Over here in the States, you become that next heavyweight. Now, does he live up to the expectations? This is where you got to look at Jared Anderson and think, okay, where does he go from here in terms of what he has inside of him? Because this is a guy talking about he only wants 2 or 3 more fights. 2 or 3 more years in the sport, whatever. So you understand what I mean? It's business. So even if Wilder is the favorite in the hearts of the people, the powers that be, it's like, well, should he not win? Jared's a lot younger, and we can start something going in the States, because you got to understand, Turki Al-Sheikh is not only involved in what goes on in Saudi, man. He's playing a part in this August 3rd card as well. Manny Pacquiao is in it as a promoter as well. They got different people that came together to make this happen. So people start to understand, lose the chip on your shoulder. Let's look at the bigger picture and bring boxing back in a bigger way. Now, let's not even bring it back to what it was. Let's try to bring it back bigger and lose all of this circus nonsense. So at the end of the day, man, this is a fight right here that people are looking at it the wrong way. But Wilder is going to have to show what he's made of. It's easy to say, okay? It's easy to say, I want to fight 3-4 times a year. Shit is not going to happen the exact way you want it to. Okay, a card has to be going on. A fight, when the fight is offered, it's not just, look, they have to have a whole card. It's not like he's going to just, oh, I want to fight this day, and you're the only person fighting. No, it's a whole card that's going on. And they have big card. Why would you not want to be on that? Why would you not want to be on that type of card, man? Like I said, man, we seen the woman that beat Kate, what's her name? Ebony Bridges, the woman that beat her. If you remember, she fought the week before she fought Ebony Bridges. Won that fight, then came to the Ebony Bridges fight, and she won that one. She beat Ebony Bridges within a week. Y'all talking about 2 months. And the woman that she fought didn't fight like Ebony Bridges, so she fought 2 different styles. Yes. So when you say, well, that's not fair, and how is he going to do? Well, hey, man, the baby and stopped. This is what the big boys do. So if you are going, and to say, heavyweight boxing is the backbone of boxing. It's the toughest division. It's the head of the body of boxing. Okay, so to speak. Well, okay then, prove it. Go in there and prove it. Give people a reason to want to see you. And looking at his last performance, people wouldn't be hyped to see him. You understand what I mean? So now he's in there fighting a guy that has a loss that's really in the same boat as him, with the exception of, there's still, and people are not looking at it for what it is, there's still more attention to Wilder and what he does than it is to Zhang and what he does. Zhang beats Wilder, then okay, well, we have to give Zhang his just due. What's next for Zhang? You understand? But if Wilder wins, we already know what they want for him. You understand what I'm saying? And they was talking about 2025 with Jared Anderson's team as far as him fighting against Wilder. So all of this talk, and I don't know if Jared Anderson is saying all of this because he realizes that if you talk stupidity in boxing, that it gets the wrong type of attention. But people, like I've been saying, they talk all this, all press is good press. No, it's not. And I believe that nobody takes him serious because of that. And then look at the performance that Jared Anderson just had. So you Wilder fans should be watering at the mouth. Like, man, shit, he got the decision, but look, he looked terrible in that fight. And really, you're lucky it's not a Frank Sanchez. As far as you being fearful, even the FA jock, but somebody that's been around for a little bit. Somebody, and Frank, I told you, skill for skill, that dude is better than all of those dudes that's trying to get their names up out there, man. And, he's not on the card. I don't know what these people's physical condition is, or what, when they're putting these cards together, who they're trying to move more. But Frank Sanchez, you think, will be one of them in terms of his skills, man. He doesn't have big star power, but so what? It's not always about that. Let's make the fights happen. Let's make quality fights happen. This is how you get to know these guys. Put them in the fights. So yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's only a testament to the way Wilder's career has been moved. That people actually feel some type of way that he's fighting Zhang, and if he wins, they want him and Jared Anderson. Well, either he's built like that or he's not. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And once again, people seem to forget Joseph Parker fought 4 times. AJ 3. You understand what I'm saying? And he's about to fight in September. So, I mean, for everybody that wants to complain, don't let the new year fool you. Look at the time frame from so it will actually be 4 fights within a 12-month period. You see what I'm saying? For AJ. And it's already been 4 already for Parker. Parker's not even on this August 3rd card. See what I'm saying? So, you want to get yourself in the mix, this is how you do it. And it's going to be in the States, so he don't even have to go over there to Saudi for this fight. You know what I'm saying? For the August 3rd card, I mean. But just saying, y'all, it is what it is. You go where you have to go. As I said, man, Devin Haney took a bullshit deal against George Kambosos and went over there in his backyard twice. And let's not forget, they was trying to prevent Devin Haney's father from coming. Remember, talking about something with his passport and all that. He went over there, did what he had to do. He wound up making it the last minute. He was able to come over there, and he had, Zab Judah's dad in his corner, so he would have been in good hands regardless. But he went over there and got the job done, not once but twice. Where was all of that bullshit then? Oh man, that's fucked up what George Kambosos is trying to do. We all know what he was trying to do. That's somebody trying to fuck with you mentally. On top of that, I get the lion's share in both fights. I remember somebody tell me, no, that's not no bullshit. It is true. Remember, I posted the shit too. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, both fights had to be in Australia, both of them, win, lose, or draw, and I get the lion's share of the money. I don't know where people come up with this fake ass news. No, he got more money than him in the ring. No bullshit, he didn't. No, he didn't. That was one of the stipulations, and that's why I'm saying. And remember, George Kambosos was acting like he was so angry, like he had a disdain for Devin Haney, right? Just at the end of the fight. Remember when Bill was like, where'd you get the sellout thing from the snitch? Oh, I just made that up. It's what I'm talking about. All that nonsense. But where was all of the concern then about fairness? And like I said before, this is what fighters did of old, man. How the fuck you think Sugar Ray Robinson ended up with all of the 100, damn near 200 damn fights or something like that, almost all together if you add his losses too, because he had like 19 losses with 170 something wins. However it went, but we know what I'm saying, damn near 200 fucking fights. How you think he did that shit? I'm gonna fight once a year. When he started boxing when he was fucking 6 months or some shit? Like, no. They fought often. All of those fighters that had a whole lot of fights, man, it was a lot of people. A lot of people, okay? And that's the way you do it. When you want to reach a certain level, that's the way it's done. And if you can't cut it, then you can't cut it. But the bottom line is, this is a sport where, yeah, it's a brutal sport and there's a lot of money involved. And people are not going to sit around and wait for you to get it together. So, the spotlight is now on Wilder and Zhang. And it's up to them to deliver. And we'll see the way the fight goes. Tell me what y'all think about the fight. And once again, we all know that Bivol and Beterbiev is off. So, it is what it is, y'all. Tell me what y'all think about this being the main event. And do y'all think that they will live up to the hype? The fight itself will live up to main event expectations. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hair to people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.